Broadcasts of HIKI NŌ are made possible by the support of viewers like you. Mahalo. And by Bank of Hawaii Foundation, investing in Hawaii's future by promoting collaboration, critical thinking, and other 21st century skills through HIKI NŌ. Kamehameha Schools, empowering Hawaiian keiki to explore, discover, and inspire. ABC Stores, a local company helping to transform education and develop Hawaii's workforce through bold learning initiatives like HIKI NŌ.
Aloha, I'm Tiffany Seguccio, a 2019 HIKI NŌ graduate from Waiʻanae High School. Earlier this fall, I had the honor of being included in a HIKI NŌ Class of 2019 special in which fellow HIKI NŌ students and I discussed our HIKI NŌ experiences and the skills we gained from those experiences. Now, as a freshman multimedia journalism major at UH Manoa, I'm finding that the HIKI NŌ skills of collaboration, critical thinking, creative problem solving, and taking responsibility are really coming in handy. Many HIKI NŌ students have utilized these skills in projects outside of HIKI NŌ. One example of this is their participation in an annual national competition, the STN, or Student Television Network Challenge. In this contest, HIKI NŌ middle and high school students compete against their peers all across the country. It's very inspiring to see young digital storytellers from this small island state in the middle of the Pacific excel against students from states such as Texas, California, and Florida. The STN Challenge is similar to our local HIKI NŌ challenges. Participating student teams are given a limited amount of days, in this case 6, to conceptualize, organize, shoot, write, and edit a story based on a particular theme. The theme is not announced until the beginning of the 6-day production window. Tonight, we're going to take a look at some of the stories created by HIKI NŌ schools in the news feature category of this year's STN Challenge. The theme for this category was Role Models. Our first STN Challenge entry proves that role models come in all shapes, sizes, and ages. Even a 9-year-old girl can be a role model. It also shows that the role models have their role models. From the students of Junior Sea Rider News at Waiʻanae Intermediate School on Oʻahu, here is Junior Champion.
Try to get out.
Logan Lynn Puahala is a 9-year-old trying to make her way to the top in the sport of judo. Her parents are part owners of Hawaii Kaikaku Judo Club located in Waipahu, Hawaii. It is here that Logan spends many hours each week helping to train preschoolers as well as students who are older than her.
Feels good to teach them because they don't know everything about judo. They keep on running around and they don't listen.
One judo student who looks up to Logan as a role model is her best friend Eli Oshiro.
She inspires me by helping me train for when I go up to the mainland. I want him to learn some moves from me.
But who is the better of this duo?
She has more balance and ability to throw me.
Judo training is something Logan is learning from her role model, who is also her coach and her father, Robin Puahala Jr.
And you still have to turn your wrist?
Because he teaches me things. He coaches me at the tournaments.
As the head coach for Pearl City High School, Coach Rob has won 5 state championships and has come in as a state runner-up 6 times. He has also been named the Hawaii High School Athletic Association's Judo Coach of the Year 5 times. After watching her father coach many championships, it's only natural for Logan to want to be a champion herself.
I want to get to the Olympics and win.
She's not alone in her goal.
My goals for her are high. We want her to go to the Olympics or World Championships.
Having her father as her coach can be challenging.
She's my daughter, so I feel that I have to push her a lot harder than most people, or I don't give her a lot of slack that other kids get. So it makes it harder for me and harder for her.
It's that kind of coaching that is helping Logan win championships.
She already has 6 national titles, 3 international titles, and 1 bronze. Currently only 1 loss. I don't know how many victories. The 1 loss is the only one that matters to us and the only thing that we really keep track of.
Keeping track of her loss is what Logan and her father are using as motivation for her future tournaments.
Push her. I need to push her day in and day out. I get her as much training as I can.
No matter what the future holds for Logan, one thing is certain.
I just want the best for her. And whether she succeeds or fails, I'm still there for her as a coach and as a father.
This is Denise Cabrera reporting for Junior Sea Rider Television.
The great thing about role models is that they can inspire others to become role models too, sparking a chain reaction that perpetuates their positive influence into the future. The following STN Challenge entry by journalists from Now Loading News at Waiʻanae High School shows how a national role model inspired a Hawaii resident to become a local role model for her island community.
And today, October 19th, 2019, we are celebrating the first ever National Period Day.
Over 20 people gathered to talk about period poverty and the accessibility of menstrual hygiene products.
So the period movement started in 2014 by a woman named Nadia Okamoto. She realized that homeless women and women with low income wasn't able to afford period products. So that is why she started the period movement, because she wanted to focus to have equal access for all. Period movement has 2 actions. So the first action is to provide menstrual products in prisons, schools, and shelters. And the second one is to end the tampon tax. Because of her and her role model that she became for a lot of women, it made me feel like, I could be a role model myself for the Hawaii community. So that is why I started Period Hawaii.
Periods are not a luxury. Access to these products are not a luxury, they're a right.
The period movement wanted to talk periods, and so they did.
If we can find a way to take away that stigma and not have to worry about hiding your tampon or your pad in your sleeve or in your pocket discreetly so you can walk to the bathroom. And I just think it's a product of nature, so why are we getting so uptight about it?
My mom, she moved here from the Philippines when she was 11 years old, and when she got her period, she did not have access to feminine products, and so she would have to rely on a towel, like she would have to stuff her underwear with towels just to manage through the month.
For Period Hawaii, empowering women is always the goal, but their vision goes beyond that.
On 3, 1, 2, and 3.
It's not like we are focusing on the lower class or the homeless women. What we are doing is trying to uplift everybody in the Hawaii community to become a role model themselves, to help each other, because really that's what it is. If you are a role model for each other, you are inspiring others to take on your work, take on the awareness to really push the problem, the issue, and try to fix it.
I think by putting that visibility out there, bringing awareness to this issue, I think that's a great step in the right direction.
Period Hawaii can be a role model, not only for the Hawaii community, but for everybody else. We are a small island with a very big voice, and I feel like if we push the awareness and become active in what we believe for, we can definitely be a role model for others.
Suzanne Tran, Now Loading News.
Some role models don't set out to become that. Some aren't even aware that they are role models. They just do what comes naturally for them. They do what they feel are the right things to do, and when their actions inspire others to do the same, they still don't believe that they're special. The following STN Challenge entry from students at Chiefus Kamakahele Middle School on Kauai is about one of these unassuming heroes.
Loaded.
Russell Halawapo is a local volunteer on the island of Kauai.
Well, what I do to help the community, sometimes I don't think I'm helping the community, I just like to help. Like I was telling your friend over here, I do the core, handicapped kids, paralyzed adults. We take them out in the ocean, spend time with them once a month. I do the food bank here at Kapaa Missionary, stuff like that.
When you see somebody that's been, whether by something they were born with or a disease that they got or like an accident, that they cannot participate in activities that they used to love and you can see somebody in a wheelchair riding on a stand-up paddleboard North Shore. He made that happen. He makes that happen for people all the time.
Russell is a role model to other people.
He's definitely one of my role models. I strive to be more like Russell because he gives, and he makes such a big difference to people.
Like I said, I'm very humbled to even be considered as a role model because, like I said, what I do, I don't feel I'm a role model. I just feel like I'm thankful that I can be used in a community to help others. And there's times that I don't want to help. There's times that I don't even want to come to the food bank. But when you do, that initiative you take to come here, there's a person there that needs you more than you think you're coming to help them.
He believes that his influencers made him who he is today.
Yeah, my mom and dad. They're very positive. And I'd like to see more children growing up with models of parents like that. Because, you know, God puts you in situations where you're to help people, you know. And so I find myself doing that. If you're home and you have no respect at home and no respect for your mom and dad, then you're not going to have any respect for, you know, Pastor Bob Hallman, whoever it is. It starts at home. You got to get that foot in at home.
Despite Russell Haloapo occasionally struggling, he still tries to find a way to help others in need, and is a role model without even knowing or trying. For the Student Television Network, I'm Aaliyah Nero.
Mothers are natural role models for their children, especially when they inspire their offspring to believe in themselves and follow their dreams. The following STN Challenge entry by journalists from Tiger TV at Eva Mackay Middle School on Oʻahu profiles a young fashion designer who followed her mother's example of being a strong woman.
Lex Breezy is a local business owned by a Manawa Hine who produces fashionable clothing for the people of Hawaii. Throughout her career, she has shown the power of being a strong woman and how it has led her to be who she is today.
I started my own clothing line when I was 22 years old. I really didn't know anything about fashion. All I knew was that my mom did clothing, but she said she led me into the right direction, but she made me do all the work. She motivated me to just start something of my own and to put my name on something so I have something to remember and that's something my kids can remember. So my mom was really the one who really motivated me, and she's literally my motivation to this day. All our moms are more motivations. I mean, they work so hard, they provide for us, and they just do it with a big smile on their face.
Sharing the same interests as her mother, Lola Miller, Alexis has been motivated to start her own successful business in the fashion industry. Building from the ground up, she has built a business that will be remembered for years to come.
I started really small. I began building my social media marketing first. So I built that for a couple years, and I began branding my name, Lex Breezy. And from there, I just took off running. I started fashion school, which was a 2-year program, and they teach us how to sew, they teach us how to draft patterns, and they teach us how to sketch. They teach us everything that you need to know how to make a full garment, something like this.
Taking the values taught by her mother, Lex Breezy shares these values through her work with every customer that comes to her store. She hopes that future business owners will learn from the advice that she gives as a Manawa Hine.
After high school, I graduated. I left college. I didn't go back for a few years, and I ended up finding something that I love to do. So my first advice would be for you guys to stay in school, get good grades, and I think it's just to be kind to everybody, because a lot of your friends you are in school with now, you will meet them again in 10, 15 years, and you'll either want to work with them, they'll want to work for you. So that's so important. Another advice I can give you guys is to work hard and just chase after your dreams. And if you really love something, then go after it. Don't let anybody tell you can't do something.
Alexis Akiona's hard work and dedication has paid off with her now flourishing business. She hopes that her story of how her business came to be will inspire the future generations of fashion designers to work hard, follow their dreams, and to be a role model just like what she is today. This is Aaliyah Tanasio from Evan Mackay Middle School for Tiger TV.
It's very common for teachers to be role models to their students, just as it is for fathers to be role models for their children. But what's it like for a teacher who also happens to be a father? The following STN Challenge entry from students at Kamehameha School's Maui Middle School explores this dual dynamic.
Clark Tuitele is an experienced teacher who loves working with his students.
I've been teaching here at Kamehameha Schools for 18 years. This is my 18th year at this school. This is a regular book. This is the comic book. I realized that I love to teach, and I love to teach other people. I always had this affinity for kids. I loved playing with little kids, and so I decided, why not go into elementary ed?
Just as he loves his students, Mr. Tuitele's students love him.
Yes, they do look up to me. I think being a male teacher in elementary is very unique. Most of the elementary teachers are female, and because of that, the kids, they cleave to you. They run to you. They want to be by you. It's something that sets us apart, I think, at the elementary level, to be a male and to be able to touch their lives.
Teaching isn't the only thing Mr. Tuitele strives to excel in. He also strives to be a good example to his family.
My wife and I have been married for 21 years. We have 6 children with us. Yes, I feel like I'm a pretty good example to my kids. My wife and I try to instill good attributes in them, that sense of Christianity, I guess you could say.
Having a big family and being a teacher is tough to balance. Mr. Tuitele finds it a challenge to balance his time with students and his kids.
I'm going to press this. A lot of times it's a juggling act, and we are scrambling to find coverage, and it's hard. It's hard to schedule in time. I wanted to exude love. I wanted to praise and compliment. When you do that, they look up to you more, and you become a greater influence for good in their lives because of that.
Though his free time might be limited, he still finds a way to show his kids that family time is in the small and simple things, as well as showing fatherly love to his students.
So I think spending quality time with your kids, it doesn't have to cost a lot of money, but just knowing that they feel that you love them and cherish them and recognize them. Being a father totally changed my outlook on things. Because I was an elementary teacher, I was always surrounded by kids of that age. I think it has allowed me to become more patient, more loving, more kind as I look at them. I view my students like my own kids. And what would my kids do? What would my kids say? How should I respond?
Through it all, Mr. Tuitele works hard to make sure that he is a good role model for both his students as well as his family. This is Riley Rosenthal reporting from Kamehameha Maui for STN.
Some people become role models after they survive a hardship and then decide to pay it forward and help those who are going through similar struggles. Such is the case in our next STN Challenge story from students at Maui High School. It's about a young woman dedicated to helping others who, like her, have had to navigate the foster care system.
Oh, nice. I'm honestly just overall grateful for everything that I've eventually been through and where I am now, because the fact that I can take that and I can help others, it warms my heart. It makes me feel happy. Got this.
But 17-year-old Maui High School senior Nadia Onishi remembers a time when life wasn't so cheerful.
At 5, I was just put into the foster care system and didn't really know where I was going, didn't really know who I was going to be with. CPS came over and knocked on the door and had been like, hey, we heard the report. You have like 15 minutes, like pack up your stuff, like you gotta go. It was just a feeling of confusion and just fear, and like the feeling of not knowing when you're going to see your mom next or when you're gonna be around your family is just a scary and like a sad kind of like sense mixed together.
Nadia spent the next several years coping with custody battles, court dates, and multiple foster families.
I didn't want to be in another home where I felt like I was mistreated, or I just didn't feel like I belonged to a family. Like my whole life, I just wanted to be in a house with like a loving family.
At the time, Nadia's wish seemed improbable. Until one fateful morning in 2014, Nadia and her mother visited Movement Church in Wailuku, where pastors Chris and Stacy Miyake opened their arms, hearts, and eventually their home.
They have like 4 kids and like their house is so tiny, like that would be an insane thing for them to just take me in and like make me part of their family. Like that's just crazy.
But after only 4 months, the Miyakes officially became the legal guardians of Nadia.
I think it's one of the turning points in my life because no longer was it just a family where you stay in their house and then when you're 18, you can move out. The dad, or who I call my dad now, he told me about like a month in, he was like, you are allowed to call us mom and dad. We want you to call us mom and dad. Like, you are our daughter now. And to just hear that I was fully accepted and was part of a family that just took me in, I'm very grateful and I'm very just in awe of what my life has turned out to be so far.
Finally, Nadia is home. With her prayers answered, Nadia wants to pay it forward by helping others in need.
I just like to be that person that empathizes with them and lets them know that I understand how it feels to like be in that place. And when you have struggles that you don't think you're gonna get through, just knowing that if you've gotten through what you have so far, that you can do it again, you know, that there's nothing that you can't overcome.
Sometimes, role models are not only defined by their own success, but by how they overcome their challenges. This is Hannah Okamoto from Maui High School for Student Television Network.
Hi guys.
Most often, we think of role models as people who are still living, people we can talk to on a regular basis, people we can meet with face-to-face when we are in need of guidance. But it is possible for a role model to be someone who has left this earth. And even though they are no longer living, their influence on us can still grow and evolve. The following STN Challenge entry by students from Sea Rider News at Waiʻanae High School on Oahu shows how this can happen.
I think Michelle, you know how to take this? Perfect.
It's been a busy Saturday for Lexton Butay-Joseph.
I get scared. I'll open the door wide open. I was like, hey, I missed you so much.
He's been planning this party for 2 weeks.
We had to talk about like who was bringing what was gonna go down and stuff like that. You like swim?
It's his first time running a family gathering.
She can't swim.
And he's still making some mistakes.
Yeah, they're starting already.
It's been a long process for Lexton.
Today actually is my uncle's birthday. The first birthday without him physically being here. This is for you, Uncle Mikey.
It was here where Mike Butay had an altercation with the police on July 30th and was severely injured. He died 6 days later at Polimomi Hospital. However, his influence didn't stop there.
No matter what, he's still my role model. I like to pray over my Uncle Mikey that he has a wonderful birthday in heaven, Father God.
It's hard. I think of him every single day.
I saw my dad got really angry over the event that happened.
But, you know, it's okay.
Me and my dad, for a while, we didn't really see eye to eye. We weren't that close. And for a long time, we didn't really talk to each other.
Mark acknowledges there was no relationship.
But I felt so bad about that, you know.
At the hospital, when I saw my dad, and he was drenched in tears, he was crying, and one of the things that he said was he would give everything in his body to bring back his brother. Despite our differences, that's one of the things that actually pushed me to become closer to my father. No, you're too heavy. Oh, bro, see him. This guy's strong. I really do believe that Uncle Mikey would have wanted me and my father to become this close that we are now. One of the things that he'd always tell me is to always forgive your family and friends because no matter what, they're going to still be there.
He keeps me alive, keeps me positive about being sure of where I am, and it's okay. It's okay that my brother's gone because he's in a better place.
I don't know how to be serious. I like being goofy. I cannot see. Isn't Baby, Baby, Baby by Justin Bieber? Just because negative things happen in your life doesn't mean that defines what happens next. You should always just continue to look forward and don't dwell on the past, don't dwell on what happened. You know, you can't change that. You can only change your future.
In a lot of ways, that's what a role model should be. A person that will guide you to take a leap of faith, even when they're not here.
Love you, Uncle Mikey. Until I see you again.
Amy Nevis, Sea Rider News.
Thank you for watching this special STN Challenge edition of HIKI NŌ. I hope you've enjoyed watching these diverse variations on the theme of role models as much as I've enjoyed sharing them with you. We're proud of all the HIKI NŌ students who entered this year's Student Television Network Challenge. Here is the challenge results. Be sure to tune in next week to HIKI NŌ here on PBS Hawaii for more proof that Hawaii students can do.
Broadcasts of HIKI NŌ are made possible by the support of viewers like you. Mahalo. And by Bank of Hawaii Foundation, investing in Hawaii's future by promoting collaboration, critical thinking, and other 21st century skills through HIKI NŌ. Kamehameha Schools, empowering Hawaiian keiki to explore, discover, and inspire. ABC Stores, a local company helping to transform education and develop Hawaii's workforce through bold learning initiatives like HIKI NŌ.